Hey, welcome to Gear Jammer Garage. Today I'm installing the pulleys on the engine for the 68 C20. I got the whole kit from CVF Racing. I've already put in the crank pulley. Comes with all the hardware. I had to get my own harmonic balancer bolt because the one that came with the kit didn't work. And you can't use the Gen 6 water pump. You need to find a reverse, because it's a reverse rotation. This water pump is off of a 85 454, and that spins counterclockwise. And then the pulley just bolts up, and then the cap bolts to that. So the kit comes with the alternator. I got a 1-wire alternator and the power steering pump. I'm gonna start with the alternator first because it's easy. Then we'll mock up the power steering pump. We got to make the lines for the gearbox and go from there. All right, you grab this bracket that comes with the kit and these bolts, and it bolts up to these two holes here on the water pump. I'm going to put them on loosely in case I need to move it around when I put the alternator in. Should be good enough for now. Also in the kit comes with the long bolt for the alternator, but it was the wrong thread. So I had to go get my own bolt from Lowe's. And this spacer also comes in the kit. It goes on the back, up against the block. Alternator sits here. And this holds it, and then this is for the adjustment on the belt. The kit comes with two belts. The big belt is for the water pump and the alternator, and the little belt is for the power steering. These are the part numbers here. 8PK1036 and 8PK953. So I'll put the little one in first. And we'll need that for the power steering. And then this slightly bigger one is for the alternator. So it's the next day. Yesterday I put on the alternator and that belt, and it's already tensioned. This is the belt for the power steering. I just kind of moved it off to the side. The power steering brackets and pump use these two bolts here on the block, and then it kind of hangs off to the side here. So this is the main bracket, and you get these two long bolts in the kit. They go here and here. Then you have some spacers. You get two spacers in the kit. They go in here and here. Then you have the backing plate. It looks like this. This goes here. So it'll look like that. So these can line up. The pump mounts here, and this is just the adjustment. And then you have these other two spacers that go on the back. One right here and one right here. And then you put this on loosely so you can move it around and then fit the pump in here. Alright, just like that. So now that it's on loose, I'll get the pump. And there's 3 bolts that you'll use for the pump. This bottom one, this back one, that'll hold the pump in place. And then this one over here for your adjuster. Now it's kind of tricky. I'll explain. They have washers in between the brackets and the pump. So I have one washer here and the bolt. We'll kind of set that in place just to hold it for now. Then this bottom bolt here has the bolt, a washer, then it goes in between the bracket, and this other spacer goes in between the bracket and the pump. So you kind of have to get this in and then get the spacer in there behind it. Oh, for now, I'll just leave the spacer out. I'll get the back bolt in. It'll kind of help hold it. And then I'll tighten everything up. Same thing in the back. It's 2 washers. One goes on the outside of the bracket. Then it's the bracket. Then it's this spacer. And then it's the pump. Let me get this in and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. So back here, you have the washer, the bracket, and then there's another washer in between the pump. Alright, so I have that bolt in the back that's kind of holding it, and I could back this one off and then put this washer in between. Alright. And I could back this one out. Stick this washer in here. So you can see there's the washer there. So now I'll tighten up the main bolts, and then this should have enough play for me to work with, so I can put the lines in, put the pulley on, and then throw the belt. Alright, so now that the pump is in, the only thing we gotta do is put in our lines. And this is a pressure port here. The outside one is the return. On the pump, the return is just this barb. And there's a 5/8 inverted flare fitting on the back of the power steering pump. So the CVF Racing Kit comes with all the fittings, well, the power steering line kit. This is it here. Doesn't come with a part number, QR code, and a barcode. But this is what they send me. And this is what you get. You get the PTFE in 6AN. You get the fittings for that on both sides. You get the fittings to convert the 5/8 inverted flare to 6AN. You get another one for the pump, one for the gearbox. For your return, you get the stainless steel braided hose in 6AN. You get 3 feet of that. You get the fitting for one side, and then on the other side, you get this here. It's pretty much just a fancy hose clamp. And then you get some of these extra fittings if it's metric and you need to switch over to standard, or if it's a 1/2 inch or an 11/16. So a lot of people aren't gonna buy this kit. You probably try to do this conversion, the power steering conversion, off of parts from the wrecking yard. So I'm going to show you what you need. So if you don't buy the whole pulley kit and you're just going to piece this together, this is how you can do it. The gearbox, this is from a 75 C20. I got it on Rock Auto. The power steering pump is just a regular GM power steering pump. You will have to source your brackets, but for the hoses, you can get them from a 75 C20. I don't know if the engine matters. This happens to be from a 454. This is the pressure side. There's a part number there. I got this at O'Reilly's. And for the return, this is the part number here for the return. I also got this at O'Reilly's. And they're both off of a 75 C20 with a 454 non-hydro boost. So those fittings are going to fit here. They're going to fit on the pressure side of the pump and the return for the fluid return for the pump. So I'm going to get that in real quick, and I'll get the pulley on, fill this up. I got to jack the truck up in the air so we could turn the wheel side to side and bleed the system, and we're done. So you don't need a special tool to install this, but just make sure you don't use this little key. The keyway goes in the slot right here on the shaft of the pump. And the pulley goes over it like this. Okay, I ran into a clearance issue with the water pump. So I had to cut off a piece here with the grinder. Now I got more adjustment here. Remember, this water pump is off of an 85, and the Serpentine kit is for a Gen 6, which is 96 to 2000. So you run into those kinds of problems and you have to make the proper adjustments. So I'm gonna put the pulley on, and now I can scoot this all the way in, put the belt on, tension it, be done with this. Then I still have to jack up the truck, fill this up with power steering fluid, and then turn the wheel side to side to get all the air out. So I put some glue on that keyway that's in there, left it overnight. This morning, put the pulley on, tensioned it. The only thing left to do is fill it up, turn the wheel side to side, and get all the air out. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.